guys, it's Little Kansas Kitty and I welcome you back to my weight loss surgery channel. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018, so this marks my 1 year, 2 month post-op update. I started off my high weight at 238 pounds. I'm 5'6". I'm 39 years old and my maintenance range is 138 to 145. A couple weeks ago I came to you and I weighed 144. A few weeks before that I came to you and I weighed 144. So I seem to be hitting and sitting at that high range of my maintenance range. Let's just jump on the scale and see where I am today. As you can see, confirmed, I am at the high end of my maintenance range and I weigh 145 today. I do have a running injury, so I've been trying to work through what it takes to be able to maintain my weight and not be burning as many calories doing cardio. So with food in general, I do like sweets, I do. And before surgery I like sweets, and I've discovered that after surgery I still like sweets. And so I have discovered, now I like to kind of treat my sweet tooth especially when I'm being disciplined and diligent. I like to treat it just with my daily vitamins because you can get a little fix from that. And my vitamins are, I do all the chewable ones because they're like candy. And you may know that I'm German. I was born and raised in Germany, and English was my second language. And when I came to the United States, I was 7 years old. I didn't know any English, and my very first sentence was, "Can I have a piece of candy?" Yeah. So I have loved sweets and candy since I was wee little, always wee little, my very first English words. Anyway, I take the Bariatric Advantage Calcium 500 chews and they taste like candy. They're amazing. So these are the chews that I like to take, and usually I stick to the fruity ones. There's also a chocolate peanut butter one that's pretty good, but I did discover caramel flavor recently and they are amazing. They're really, really tasty. It's just like a little caramel delight. Also, I decided, let me try a new brand. I've been with Bariatric Advantage for my Calcium 500s for so long, but I do take Celebrate brand, the chewy multivitamin, and I really like those. And so I thought, let me just give it a try and try the Celebrate Calcium 500. So same thing, they're chewable, and this is a watermelon flavor, and oh my gosh, it's like a Starburst. It's so tasty, so yummy, just hits the spot, and they're really good, and it's like $10 cheaper for the Celebrate brand versus the Bariatric Advantage. So thought I'd pass that along and share. NSV, I went shopping the other night and I just wanted to pick up a couple things, and I went to Macy's, the department store, and was just looking through some of the clearance items, and I saw these shorts as I was walking out at the store, and I was like, well, those are cute, those are kind of fun, and they were super, super cheap, and they were the INC brand, so the ink or whatever, that New York brand, and they're stretchy and kind of dressy, adorable. And it's funny, I still lean towards the larger sizes. I know what size I am. I have those sizes at home, but going through the rack, I was like, maybe the 8 or maybe the 6. And those are, those are still small sizes. Coming from where I was wearing like a 20, an 18-20 when I started this whole journey and this whole process. And I was like, no, just grab the size that you are. And I grabbed a 4. And I wasn't going to try it on. I just went and bought it. I thought, let me go home and I'll just try it on. And if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. It fits. I'm a size 4. It's still crazy in my mind. Like it's hard for me to accept it that my body is a size 4. It's just nuts. And I mean, I had rooms too in these. Like they're stretchy, and so there was room in there. So pretty cool. Pretty cool from where I was to where I am now. I did have a clumping episode this week, which is crazy. 14 months post-op, or a year, 2 months post-op, and still experiencing clumping episodes, which clumping, if you recall, is when food gets stuck. It's not like dumping. Dumping is when food gets flushed through you and goes through your intestines super fast. And the clumping is when it's just not able to make it through that opening, through that stoma. And it's very uncomfortable. It usually passes within about 20 minutes, but you kind of get that feeling like maybe you need to throw up, or you just don't feel good. You feel very nauseated, and it's just like, it's hard to explain. You're just like, you have to breathe through it. And I'm just gonna drop a quick video in here to show, because I did kind of video that process. Ooh. So I'm here to test that 1 year and about 2 months. I'm like 14 months post-op RNY, and I'm still experiencing episodes of clumping this far out, meaning the stoma is still small, the pouch is still small, and I just ate too fast. I made a little salad of just like random leftovers at work, and it just comes in waves. It's awful. But ate too fast. I think it was a carrot, a baby carrot. Didn't chew it all the way. Maybe didn't chew it down enough, and it's stuck. I wish I had some papaya enzymes with me, but I don't. They're at home. So I'm gonna have to suffer through this for probably about 20 minutes. So basically, I think it was like a baby carrot, and it's just a good reminder to chew, and to know also that 14 months post-op, my pouch is still doing what it's supposed to be doing. It still is working as it has been intended to. Fitness-wise, I'm feeling a little bummy, but I'm accepting that yes, I have done some insane, crazy mileage and marathons this year, and I just need to go through some of that recovery process. So I did pull something, strain something in my glute area, and it sucks because I'm not running the mileage that I'm used to, and I'm just accepting it though, and trying to make, food choices where I'm not gaining a ton of weight because I'm not burning the calories that I'm used to. I usually run about 50 miles per week, and I've had to reduce that during this time where I'm recovering by about 70%. So I'm barely running these last 2 weeks, but I'm doing everything I need to do. So I'm going to see Dr. Black, my chiropractor, once a week, and I'm actually going to start bumping that up to twice a week beginning next week because it feels so damn good when he massages and stretches me. In the meantime, I'm trying to, since I can't run like I used to, I'm trying to build up some of my muscle, and I'm doing push-ups pretty much every day. I'm doing planks just to work on my core, and I'm rolling and stretching and icing and hot baths and ice baths after I run. Like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm also massaging myself some of this CBD oil, this cream, can't really see it, but just deep tissue massaging that into my glute area, and doing everything I can. The really cool thing about Dr. Black, and this is why my running friends so highly recommended him to me, is that he does that active recovery, and he's a big believer in continuing on with your sport, maybe reducing it, but continuing on with it and just working through the pain. He said, I'm not going to make it any worse, but I can continue running at a reduced amount. And so I told him that I had taken several days off from last weekend after I had done a semi-long run, and he was like, no, I want you out there every single day, even if it's just for 1 mile. He said it's so important to get that circulation going, and he said you're stiff because you're not moving it. And so after I'd taken several days off, I was like, okay, if Dr. Black says so, I'll do it. And yes, it hurts and it's painful through the entire time, but it's it's not getting worse. And so that first day when he told me to do that, I did like 2 miles, and I was like, okay, that feels good, you know, to get it moving again. And then the next day I did 3 miles, the next day I did 3 miles, and he said for my long run, he said the longest that he wants me to do is 8 miles. So I did that today, and it felt so good to get out there. And I happened to run with a fast crowd, so we had like a 9:22 pace for the entire 8 miles, and it just felt so exhilarating, you know, just more mentally for my mind. That cardio is incredible, the benefits that you will receive just for your mind, and it's just such a feel good. So anyway, it did hurt through it, but I was smart afterwards and did everything I needed to do in terms of stretching and icing and massaging and all of that. Another thing that I really like about Dr. Black is I did go ahead and fess up and share with him and say, you know what, I have been numbing with vodka a lot, and I'm drinking vodka a lot more than I have in years. And he said, you know what, that's okay. It's an anti-inflammatory. He said, I drink vodka pretty much every single night, and it's totally okay. And I was like, what? Thank you. Because in the evenings, like, you cannot take Advil. You cannot take ibuprofen as a gastric bypass surgery patient ever again. And so right now, all I'm doing is taking Tylenol. And, you know, it helps with the pain, but it doesn't take the pain away. And so I will have like a little shot of like a vanilla vodka in the evening, and numbs it. It feels so much better, and it just puts me in this relaxed state, and it actually helps curb kind of some of my appetite as well. So I was telling my man friend about this yesterday, and I was like, yeah, Dr. Black said that vodka is an anti-inflammatory. And he was like, what? Please. And he was like, your Dr. Black sounds a little like a quack to me. He's like, let me just Google this. So he gets on Google, and believe it or not, there were a ton of health benefits associated with drinking vodka on a regular basis. And I thought I'd just share with you real quickly. And my man friend, he doesn't drink a lot. And he was like, you know, he's an athlete, a former athlete. He's in the sports industry. He played basketball, and he still plays basketball on a regular basis, and is dealing with, you know, a couple of his own aches and pains and injuries. And he was like, I think I'm gonna go make myself a drink right now. And he ran over to the kitchen and, you know, made himself a little drink with some vodka in it. And he was like, this is awesome. So anyway, vodka is a cure-all, supposedly. It's a natural disinfectant, antiseptic. It can be used to treat toothaches, clean wounds, clean your house, and it can relieve stress. You may have heard that wine is a natural relaxer, but it's nothing compared to vodka. It's heart healthy. Vodka can increase blood flow and circulation in your body, which can prevent clots and strokes and other heart diseases. Vodka also helps lower your cholesterol, and for those watching their weight, it's also generally considered a lower calorie alcohol. And that's the reason I've always gone to vodka. Like vodka water is just clear, and it's low calorie. It can be used as a skincare product. So vodka acts as a natural astringent and a disinfectant, and can deep clean your pores. It contributes to oral hygiene. You know, if you have a toothache, just take a shot of vodka and swish it around your mouth, and it'll numb and take care of any toothaches. It can alleviate symptoms caused by arthritis, and it reduces risks associated with diabetes. So cheers, people! Have your vodka with me. Anyway, I also wanted to share a quick little story that my man friend shared with me, and he and we were just talking about like college stories and memories and stuff, and he was kind of a wild thing back in his, you know, college days. And he and some of his players, his teammates, they were making fun of a girl, and not to her face, but kind of talking about her behind her back. And she was a big girl, and, you know, just your typical like athletes, I guess. And they were just like cracking some kind of jokes and stuff, and he said that she was like probably like 250 pounds or something, and I don't think he knows how large I was. He knows that I've struggled with my weight and that I've been up and down. He doesn't know that I've lost 100 pounds in the last year. I haven't shared that with him yet. And anyway, he ended up going to this party and she was there, and he ended up actually getting with her. And I don't think they really saw each other again for almost a whole nother year. And it was like his next year in college, his sophomore year in college, and he was at this dorm, and he walks in and she was like, hey, and he was like looking at her and he was like, hey, and he didn't recognize her, and she had lost, he said, close to 100 pounds, and he could not believe it. Like the transformation, he did not recognize her whatsoever. And she said, listen, I just want to tell you thank you. You actually changed my life, and for you being, you know, this basketball stud and to get with me, you totally gave me confidence in myself and changed my life. And I decided that I wanted to put weight loss, you know, in my journey. Like she wanted to lose weight, and she thanked him that he gave her the confidence to do that. And although, you know, he wasn't, him and his players, you know, they were making fun with her at the beginning, I was touched by that story, and I still haven't shared with him yet my entire journey, but it was touching to hear that. And it reminds me of what motivates you. I was messaging back and forth with one of my viewers the other day, and she's struggling. She's a couple of years post-op, and she just can't get past those last X amount of pounds. She's struggling to get that off. And I thought, you know, what motivates you? Whatever motivates you, pull from that. And for me, I think motivation comes from, often it comes from men, honestly, or clothing, or just, you know, feeling good. I just want to feel good. And I still remember some of my kind of college days at times when I was a little bit higher in weight. It was honestly often men that motivated me back then. And you just want to feel good. You want to feel good when you're dating, and at the same time, I also want you to know that, you know, don't do this for someone else, but do draw from motivation, whatever motivates you. You have to take control. You have the power to make a change. Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me.